You crazy mother.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to this iRacing broadcast of the ECR Truck Championship Racing League Pit Stop Design Truck Series. Tonight it is the NC North Carolina, no, not in North Carolina, NC, just NC Education Lottery 85 laps here tonight at Charlotte Motor Speedway, and we'll look at the temperature right now. It is 67 degrees on the track, 67 degrees in the air, 48% humidity, and a 14.54 kilometer per hour wind speed. And returning tonight in the booth with me, I have Mr. Todd Gilly and the Cup Dominator so far this year, Scott Sanderson. Go ahead and introduce yourselves, guys.
Great to be back, Scotty. Great to have Mr. Sanderson in the booth with us this week.
Yeah, it's great to be here, Todd and Scotty. It's going to be hopefully up for a good show here tonight at Charlotte.
I hope so. These guys are running very close times. one thousandths, one thousandths of a second off of each other for the top 5 with these guys running without a pack, and when they were running to a pack, it was just, it seemed like milliseconds off from each other. These guys can run pretty much full throttle here tonight, and it's going to be interesting to see how this race turns out. Should be a quick race. These guys seem very comfortable here. The track weather makes this track very reasonable to race on, especially with these trucks here tonight. And don't forget, tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Pit Stop Design. Make sure you make them your last pit stop, pit stop on iRacing Designs. The owner of that is Joey Stats, who is also our race controller here tonight, guys. Any comments on that?
See, Joey puts a lot of good paint jobs on the track. Anybody should call him.
You can also find him on Facebook, Joey Stats or Pit Stop Designs. Make sure you guys also check out the Beeline Sim Series on Tuesday nights. The broadcast link is down in the description below. Make sure you check out the channel and subscribe. Do not miss our Beeline Series, which is the Xfinity Series in the real world. And also don't miss on Wednesday nights our Cup Series, brought to you by Logistics in Motion. The link to their YouTube is also in the description below. That is put on by Ford Entertainment Group, and that is my championship series this year, if you guys know that, especially coming back to the broadcast over the year. So tonight we'll be racing here, and then we have a week off again. Only a week, not 5 weeks this time. How do you guys feel about the breakup, the massive breakup in the truck series?
It's tough for him because coming from my perspective is you can get into a rhythm and you can carry it from track to track. You can kind of get into some momentum, and it's a big Kickstarter going into a week knowing that you got a top 5 or you just won a race or something along those lines. It's a big momentum and confidence booster.
I agree. I think it's got to be hard for those guys to, take that long of a break. If you weren't eligible to run the other series, I think it would be difficult.
Very well said. It's next year I actually plan on running this series as my championship, just because of the breakups like that. It's a little more freedom to be able to do what you want. I mean, if we do have the truck series come back next year, we should. We also have a dirt series now that runs on Thursday nights. Not quite sure on the broadcaster on that. I will have to get with Anthony, but that is also broadcasted as the ECR Dirt Series, founded this year, and it's very interesting to see people go out there and race these dirt vehicles because they are not easy.
No, especially if you get into the sprint cars, get up into those 410 sprint cars. Those, at some of the tracks, they're such a handful. It's a whole nother beast at itself.
And it looks like right now we only have 18 people qualified. It's probably the only ones that could qualify. And right now it's showing that Justin Michael is going to be your pole sitter here tonight, with Jason O'Connor on the outside.
Yeah, and qualifying is, especially with these trucks at Charlotte here tonight, they run a wide open lap for qualifying. And from talking to some of the drivers earlier in practice, is you can run 15 to 20 laps. You can run most of the fuel run just wide open. So you're going to see a lot of drafting, and qualifying may play a role here. Is when and where that caution will come out, because with running wide open, we hope not to see cautions, but they're going to happen. Just like going to the big tracks like Talladega and Daytona, the big one's going to happen. So we might see a big one here tonight.
Well, we definitely saw it during practice during that last pit party they were running. Hopefully we don't see it, but it's probably inevitable. I mean, someone's going to drive it too hard, and then boom, that's it. That's all she wrote.
No doubt you're going to see pack racing tonight, and on this track, there's definitely the possibility for the big one here.
Yeah, especially going back to the qualifying, it's going to play a big role, but it also may not play much of a role because if you start back, we got 19 cars that took time here. So if you're starting 20th on back, you still could have a lot of fast guys back there that they can see how the air is working up ahead of them, get in that draft, and some of them might be impatient and want to get up there. It's a compared to our Beeline Sim series and our Logistics Cup series is it's a short race. It's only 85 laps on this mile-and-a-half track, so not too much time to sit around and just ride here at Charlotte tonight.
No, it's going to be time to go from the time the green flag flies here tonight. And I did the math on practice. Just 0.2 of a second separated 37 trucks in practice here. And
Yeah,
although the split's wider in qualifying, it's 0.6 from first to 18th. But I think we're going to see a fantastic race if it can stay green.
yeah, it was 0.2 over the 37, like you said, Todd, and it was only 1/10 exactly over the top 28. So it's going to be real tight racing here in the draft.
I hope so. These guys can go full bore about 15-20 laps here with the way the weather is set. What is your guessing on a fuel run? I'm guessing probably 25-30 laps, if that. I don't think tire fall off is going to be a major problem here as long as these guys take it easy.
It depends on how hard you run your truck earlier in the run is how much your tires are going to fall off at the end. If some of these drivers want to get up there and try and get through the pack right away, they're going to be pushing their tires really hard, and that may come back to bite them if we do get that long green flag run. And if we do see a caution early, they might be able to come down, get tires, go back out, and do it all over again. Just run their tires into the ground, and might be able to see a couple drivers pick up a ton of spots on pit road also. So got a lot of different strategies you can use here tonight.
Yeah, doors wide open tonight for numerous strategies to win the race here. With the tire being really good, I test drove some in practice, ghost drove, and you can drive this truck on the top. You can drive this truck on the bottom. It's going to be a great show.
Well, let's hope so. These guys definitely happy to be here. Charlotte's one of the top picks for many people, mile and a half, and it's one of the free tracks, so you get a lot of practice on it. Earlier during practice, actually, we saw these guys going 3 wide in the corner 1 and 2, so I wonder if that's going to be the case here tonight as we're about to ready to start this race.
Yeah, another thing to keep in mind too is since there are so many grooves to this track that you can run with these trucks is what line is going to rubber up first, because that may play a role on where you can put your car wide open for X amount of laps. You might only be able to go later on in the run. You might only be able to run wide open 10 laps on the inside, but you still might be able to run the 15 or 20 like we previously mentioned on the outside. So it could play a big factor in where the tires lay down, or where the vehicles lay down rubber at.
And
You can run. I'm sorry, Scotty. I didn't mean to step on you. You can run the top here with so little steering input. Man, it's really going to save that right front, and that'll be fast and free.
And Justin Michael getting a hell of a start here tonight. This guy, Justin Michael, he's a rookie here in the Truck Series. Rookie here in not iRacing, but ECR itself. And he's been very strong this year. Quite a few wins under his belt. He's locked in. I mean, quite a bit to say. I mean, he runs about just like you, Scott, and it's interesting to see the strategies that he pulls off and that you yourself pull off during these races.
Yeah, I've ran with Justin numerous times. Not at ECR yet, but I've ran with him in other events, and he's one tough competitor, I tell you that. He's got that rookie status to his name here in ECR, but he's no rookie by any means.
And it looks like we got the 20 of Nathan Casillas already a lap down. I wonder if he started in the pits or just had a bad start. But these guys duking it out here at the top 10. I mean, running strong, going on lap 3. And already a lot of battles going on. I wonder if this is going to play a key role. Oh, we got somebody in the wall back here. Both like Mason Clark and the number 60 bounced off the outside wall and continually to bounce off the wall a little bit. Oh, 99 Ken Worley hitting the outside wall on the backstretch. These guys pushing it just a little too much. They gotta watch themselves. It's a long race.
Yeah, going back to Ken Worley in the 99 here, he's got a large pack in front of him that's running really hard. So I wonder if he didn't get a clear view coming on, and we got a caution.
Oh man, first yellow of the night. Let's go ahead and see if we can find that.
Will Prue going to be involved in that one.
Mr. Prue. Alright, let's go ahead and see if we can find out what happened with him. Oh, looks like Will Prue and number 2. Will Prue smacked the wall a little bit and came down. Oh, that looks like Prue and David Bordney as well. Let's go ahead and go back to see what Bordney was doing as well. Because Prue went up into the wall coming out of corner number 4, and Bordney was right on his bumper behind him. And yep, they both smacked the wall and both got into each other. That's going to be a tough one to call. Joey Stats, our RC here tonight, also the pit stop design leader and paint master there. What would you guys say would be the call?
I don't know. That's a tough one. It looks like the 2 of David Bordney, when he followed the truck in front of him up to the wall, like I was saying, that happened with the with Ken Worley in the 99. He might have been following just a little too close, just riding, and just may not have had his spatial awareness quite on point there. I know it happens to everyone. Just kind of get in line, riding, and after he got into the outside wall there, he came back down. So it's definitely going to be interesting on the call that our RC is going to make here.
It's got significant damage to that number 2 truck, that's for sure. We should look at the back of it. Maybe the end of the night.
Well, that's too bad really early on. There are no quick repairs here in the ECR. These guys do run at half fuel, and it really makes a difference, especially we've noticed a lot of that in the Cup cars because the weight difference, and it makes these setups, all these fixed setups, really, well, I wouldn't say difficult to run, but really unique to run compared to what you would in a regular ranked race.
Yeah, in the ranked races, depending on which route you take, you could run the fixed setups or you could run the open setups. So the open setups, you might take some of that fuel out to help make the car either stable or make it rotate. And it's another key to really tweaking your setup in is if you only have a 100-lap race, maybe you're going for only a 1 pit stop race, depending on the track that you're at. So you can... It really plays a factor on what you're used to.
No doubt. You tend to go and jump in and test and practice on full tank and sticker tires, and you know these cars definitely handle, these trucks definitely handle differently on a half tank of fuel and old tires.
You know, these trucks, I used to race these trucks a lot in ranked, and I like the feel of them. They're a very heavy vehicle. And you can run wide open pretty much almost any track as long as it's got the right settings. But even then, I mean, it's definitely, especially a starter vehicle of choice for the NASCAR series.
That it is. I consider the truck series, even with the older style trucks that iRacing has, is to be one of the most popular, if not the most popular series out there as far as official races go. Even in the hosted sessions here on iRacing, there's a ton of truck races, a lot of super speedways, and even in the short tracks, they are just a blast to run. I've even ran these on dirt, and they're even a blast. They're a lot trickier, put it that way, but they are a blast to run almost on any track.
I haven't tried them on dirt yet. I got to give that a shot. It sounds like a good time, like driving 2 late models at once.
Oh, it's a blast, I can tell you that. It's definitely something to get used to, though.
And I can tell you guys something, we have a new leader here tonight, another rookie in the truck series, Craig Blair. And he's going to have Stephen Massey, who's covering for Dalton Tucker in the 14 truck here tonight on the outside of it. And Stephen Massey, a hard runner himself, he's definitely going to put up a big competition for Craig Blair.
I'll tell you how good.
Go ahead,
sorry. Yeah, I'll tell you how good Stephen Massey is right now. He's on a hot streak. The guy's won 3 NIS races in the last 2 weeks for Stephen Massey. Wins in the NIS.
Yeah, the NIS, for those of you that don't know, that's one of the top series in iRacing as far as the length of the races go. They run, most of them are
A half.
half length races. They even throw a couple full length races in there. I believe one's coming up here next week. I think the Coca-Cola 600 is going to be a full length race, so that's going to be a lot of endurance for a lot of the drivers that are going to be taking part in that.
The Coke 600, Talladega, Daytona, and Indy, I do believe, are your full NIS races.
They're about to go 3 wide for second place here in a minute. Blair lead, Massey on the outside. The 55 and 76 trucks are not waiting around. Here they come.
Yeah, and Stephen Massey, he's my teammate in the ECR Logistics Cup Series there, and he's gonna run you hard. He knows when to push it, but he also knows when to save his stuff and really kind of think about the long-term run. So it was interesting to see what he was going to do there in that 3 wide situation.
No, and I'm glad I picked him. Oh, well, actually, I didn't pick him. Dalton Tucker picked him as a driver here tonight to cover for him, and I'm glad he did because I know how Stephen Massey runs. He's a strong competitor throughout all 3 series, and after winning the NIS...
The caution
oh, man, we got a big one. Holy hell. We got trucks flipping, and
that's what I was saying about that qualifying order is where you qualify might play a big role in where that big one was going to happen. Unfortunately, we do have that big one here.
Alright, let's go back and see what happened there. Just taking a look at this right now, we have the 39 inside the 75, and the 22 is heading straight up into the wall in corner number 2. You got the 78 and the 70 on the lower side. Alright, we got to go back just a hair more and see what went on here, ladies and gentlemen. And remember, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more ECR racing. As far as the truck series go, we actually have a playlist set up from last year and for this year, so don't miss out on that. We're going to be here every Monday that these guys race. Ooh! Okay, I gotta go back further on that because that was craziness. Alright, let's go ahead and do a slow-mo of that real quick. So we're coming up on the front stretch here, going into the tri-oval, and we're following Scott Hunsinger right now. He's got the 81 on the inside of him, and that is the 81 of Josh Susie. And watch what happens here. Josh Susie comes up just a bit, clips him. Scott Hunsinger pushes him, and Josh Susie's truck flips out, literally flips out, and then causes just a huge pileup between the 75, the 22, 50 got into it, 78 got into it. Oh man, let's go on board with Josh Susie during that flip just to check things out.
The 81 truck is loose off of 4.
Go ahead and third speed this, and yeah, he comes up. I think that is going to be on Mr. Susie here tonight.
And it was also kind of dumb luck on how his car, he almost got stuck in the wall and then flipped out of it. It's kind of dumb luck. It happens every once in a while. It's almost just, it's bad luck is honestly what it really is.
Yeah, this
and
place.
It's unfortunate way for very well could end his night.
Unfortunately, this place is glitchy on corner number 1. There are very few glitches in this simulation, but that is one of them. Let's go ahead and bring Josh Susi down real quick. See if I can find him. Let's see. Go ahead and bring him up. Josh Susi, number 81. Do you have a copy?
Yeah, man, I got you.
Man, oh man, we were just watching that flip you did, getting stuck in the corner there, going in the corner number 1. What happened there? Did your truck get loose, or did you have a little bit of a glitch?
No, I was just listening to my spotter trying to get in the high line, and he said clear, and I went to move up, and as soon as I started moving up, he said 1 outside, and by then it was too late. I feel bad for everyone that got involved in that. Got some damage, took a few people out. I could care less if it was just me, but unfortunately other people got involved. It was way too early for stupid stuff like that to happen, but gotta love iRacing spotting packages sometimes.
No, yeah, because it looked like you came up in the Scott Hunsinger, and I knew you weren't clear, but you're right, sometimes the spotter packs do not even out very well. I got Todd Gilly and Scott Sanderson up here with me. You guys got anything for Josh?
Leading up to that, how is the truck running? Give us a little insight on how the track's starting to wear out, where the rubber's starting to go down, and just give us a little insight on the race so far.
Well, I definitely feel like the more rubber that gets put down, the tighter the track is getting, and with such low temperature, that's not helping. A lot of people took right sides, as I'm sure you guys saw, to try to loosen their vehicle up as much as possible. I think you're going to see that a lot tonight, so it'll be interesting to see what wins out over what. I could even see some people maybe doing that under green flag conditions to cut their time on pit road by half and making up a lot of track time. So we'll see, but you know, the track was tightening up. You were tight in draft. It was really hard to pass someone on the bottom unless they messed up. It was just it was almost like Kansas last week, but you know, more racing grooves. So you had to get what you could get and try to use strategy to get up to the front as much as possible.
All right. Well, thank you, Josh, and hopefully better luck to you next time.
Thanks, man.
Yep.
Alright, what room were you in, Josh?
American Motorsports.
That's what I thought. Alright, talk to you in a bit.
Michael Levy back out to the lead on the restart here over Stephen Massey.
But there's quite a battle right here. Holy crap.
Yeah, I was looking at that on the restart there, and it looks like the outside lane. For those of you that don't know or maybe aren't avid followers, the outside of not just the trucks but any vehicle is extremely hard to see out of. Even when you do have triple screens, it's a lot easier, but it's still quite the task to try and time out when the leader goes. And even being on the outside, looking at the inside is still quite the task, and it did cost Justin and Michael a spot there for a little while, but he has been able to get back around. Just, the 14 is Stephen Massey.
And we got a newcomer up in the 3rd place position, Tony Ball. Also a rookie here tonight. We got a lot of rookies in this series this year, which is awesome. It's glad to see that we recruited quite a bit this year, and we're always recruiting guys. Also remember, if you want to be a part of the league, check us out on Facebook, ECR League. Oh!
Contact in the front there.
A little bit of crossover.
Looked like Justin and Michael may have gotten into the back of the I believe it's the 55 of Michael Levy there.
He did at that.
Yeah, and on contrary to what Josh said, it looked like he got extremely loose when he got, I don't know how hard the contact was in car, that is. It didn't look very hard, but when you get into the back of one of these cars, especially at full throttle like they're most likely doing here, it could upset that vehicle a lot. Like, it's hard to put into words on how much a little bump could send you out of control.
And it looks like it. I mean, you guys saw that. They were 3 wide coming out of 4, and you've got Anthony Thitchner up here now, covering for one of his truck drivers here tonight. Man, this front pack is changing. This top 10 is ever just... It's crazy. I mean, these guys running their trucks as hard as they can, running pretty much full throttle, going 180, 181 into 3 and 4. I mean, you typically do not see that.
Yeah, and I've been watching Tony Ball here. He's fighting for fourth place at the moment with Anthony, and he got up next to the 55 there, I believe it was, of Michael Libby. And like Josh said, he got extremely tight, and he went up the track, and he had to get out of the throttle, and he almost did it again there to Anthony. It looks like the tightness on the inside is going to be quite the issue to deal with here tonight.
Big aero tight thing happening there. Yeah, it looks like.
Now let's go ahead and look at your current top 10. We've got Justin Michael leading, followed by Michael Libby, Stephen Massey, Anthony Thitchner, Tony Ball, Jason O'Connor, Christian Snyder, George Price, Rob Haynes, and Thomas Lattimore rounding out your top 10 here tonight so far on lap 23 of 85 at Charlotte Motor Speedway.
A lot of big guns from the A-Class series down here starting to show up in the top 10, top 5 of this race.
Yeah, here, and when you're one of those top either Cup driver or the Beeline Series driver, you're not allowed to qualify, because here at ECR we give the qualifying rights to the guys that are going for the championship. So you're starting to see here on lap 25 a lot of these guys that had to start in the back and weren't able to qualify, starting to make their way up into the top 10, like you said.
Yeah, you figure we only had 19 people qualified. And that's, something with this. We also have the SR system in place, the League SR. So there are people, it shouldn't matter in trucks, but there are people in other series, like if you are in the B car, and you cannot hold the B license, you cannot run anything but B and truck. If you hold the A, if you're running for the A championship, the Cup championship, and you can't hold your A license, you can't do anything else but the Cup championship until your SR is higher.
Yeah, and that's another thing to keep in mind also when you're out here, and it's I've heard from some of the drivers, it affects on how hard they push, how early. A lot of the drivers that are on the verge of losing that license for their class is they will just sit and ride until almost the very end with like 5 or 10 to go, and then they'll try to make a charge just to preserve as much of their SR as they can and try and gain some.
Now we're heading back through the pack here, just looking at the different paint schemes and looking at the different people on the track. We've got another one of my drivers, the 56 George Munger, back here in 16th, and man oh man, I got a paint scheme looking in and out. The 45 of, who is that? That is Jeremy Morrison. Trading paint sometimes can be really iffy, and it's just unfortunate to see sometimes.
Yeah, and looking back up here at the lead, we have like an 8-car battle for the lead up here. They are 2 by 2 by 2, and they're
with Massey in the middle.
Yeah, they're going almost 3 wide here, so they're charging really hard here.
Yeah, this is quite the battle here at the front. These are some of the best guys in the ECRL up here at the front of this race right now.
I've been right on board with Jason O'Connor here in the 72, and he's got a bird's eye view of this whole cluster of trucks up here in front of him. And he's starting to reel them in along with the 37 and the 68, and even bringing up the 31. So we're almost having a pack racing here at Charlotte.
Well, speaking of pack racing, let's go ahead and crank it for these boys when they come back around, and we'll be on board with Jason O'Connor when we do so. So these guys will be coming back around here, about half a second or so. So let's go ahead, get on board, crank that motor. Alright, and it's cranked up with Jason O'Connor, and While we were watching Jason's onboard cam, it looks like Anthony made a little contact there on the outside line, drawing him back just a little bit.
Yeah, it was with the 3 of Thomas Lattimore, which...
Yellow,
we got a
crash.
caution on the track.
Oh man, these guys went quite a few green laps too. I do believe I saw Jerome Gustin get into that one. Oh yeah, he did. Okay, let's go ahead and go back to see what we can find. Probably help if I had the right camera on. Oh, yep, it looks like the 45 came down onto Jerome Gustin, and that is the 45. Mr. Blinky, Jeremy Morrison, his Tim Hortons paint scheme, not wanting to stay at all. And that is unfortunate. I wonder if he had the same issue that Josh Susi, they're telling them that he was clear, and obviously not.
I'm having a heck of a time seeing it.
Going on the pit road here, we got a lot of trucks that are coming down on the pit road. Wonder what kind of shakeup we're gonna have here in the standings. We heard Josh saying a lot of guys were taking 2 tires. I wonder if any are gonna take 4 to try and get that little bit of extra bite coming off the corner and maybe give up some of that that rotation through the center.
It's gonna get real interesting here to see who does what, because they're all in there.
And once we pull out of pit road here, I would like to take a quick chat with Jason O'Connor to see what was going through the driver's mind. We were riding on board with him there and see what he was thinking when they were in that big pack up there.
Alright, let's go ahead and bring him up. I know he's broadcasting himself, so he's muted right now. Yeah, unfortunately, we won't be getting him. Let me give it a try just in case. Let's see. Where are you, man? Okay. Jason O'Connor, do you have a copy? I'll give him another couple seconds. No, he's got his stuff muted for his broadcast, so I'll go ahead and put him back down.
Alright.
Which is understandable. I know he does not leave his mic open a lot in Discord, especially when he's on his dashboard cam.
Yeah. And then let's try and get a chat with the 31 of Doug Hess here. I know he was right behind Jason there, and he was also getting a pretty good bird's eye view there.
Doug Hess, alright. Doug Hess, welcome to the broadcast booth. You got Todd Gilly and Scott Sanderson in here with us. Do you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Doug, we saw you there. There was quite a battle up there for, it was about the top 10. We're all basically thrown under a blanket there. And you had a good bird's eye view, and a couple of you guys there that weren't quite up to the pack when they were really battling were getting drawn in because of how hard they were battling. What was going through your mind at the time that they were battling that hard, and were you wanting to try and pick off a couple extra spots here? So that was a few less you had to do there on pit road, or what exactly was going through your mind?
Yeah, a lot of those guys are on 2 tires in front of me. My 4 tires are starting to pay off there, but I had nowhere to go once I got to them. Too wide in front of me.
We also talked to Josh Susi that was involved in a caution earlier in the race. He said the track is tightening up a lot on the bottom. Are you seeing the same thing with your vehicle, or are you seeing something slightly different?
Yeah, I'm lifting a little bit going into the corners, so that helps with that tightness instead of full throttle.
Gotcha. Well, anyone else have anything for Doug Hess here?
Did you get caught up in that, Doug?
No, I made it through.
Go get him, man.
Alright,
Yes,
yeah.
good luck from us up here in the booth.
That
Yeah,
Winter Gang
thanks.
truck, good. That truck looks nice, man.
Alright, and that was a 31 at Doug Hess. I really didn't have anything for him. I brought him down for you guys to talk to him, so it's all good, no worries. And it looks like the 76 of Justin Michael is going to continue to lead this pack off on lap 36.85. Running strong here tonight, Mr. Justin Michael is.
We got Tony Ball. He's starting on the outside of Justin there. It's going to be interesting to see if we see the same thing happen that happened to Justin. Can the outside lane get going here on the restart?
Green flag, green flag.
Didn't look like it. But Justin Michael, him being the pole sitter, has the opportunity on a fast restart like that. Oh, and it looks like Stephen Massey got on the outside a little bit on that restart.
Yeah, I saw that. He almost got up there into the wall, but I don't believe he made any contact.
That's Scott Hunsinger back out here on the track. He's 19 laps down, right beside Ronnie Miller, followed by Nick Edwards. Ben Olsen has left the race, and Craig Blair. And Jeremy Morrison is your last truck on the lead lap, 28th position right now. Man, the battle's going on here tonight, guys. I'm really happy to see this. These guys really love this track, as I said, and it feels nice on the truck. You know, we've had 4 cautions now, but they haven't been real bad. You know, a few people have been taken out, yes, but it wasn't because of stupidity. It was because of iRacing. Either the spotter wasn't right, or something happened. I mean, that was inevitable.
Yeah, and going back to a previous conversation we had earlier here, is a lot of the drivers can't qualify because this is not their championship division. We got Stephen Massey. He started 26th. He's up to 4th here, already just 40 laps in. And also taking a look at the rundown here, George Munger, he started 31st. He's up to 7th. So we got a lot of those back, the guys that had to start in the back there, stumbling over my words here. A lot of those guys that had to start in the back, they are making their way up to the front to try and give Justin a pretty good run for his money here.
And we got a newcomer here tonight, I do believe. The 37 at Andrew Melvin. I may be wrong, but I do not remember him from last week.
Yeah, I believe he went through league orientation with myself, and I guess he must have had a couple prior commitments to other things. But yeah, I believe this is also his first night, if I do recall.
And he's sitting right behind 31 at Douglas House, and he's got George Munger, another hard runner here in the league, on the outside of him. So it's good to see this guy being his first race, I do believe, officially in this league, to be in the top 10 right now, almost halfway down the race.
Great battle for second place right now between Tony Ball, who's working that bottom groove, trying to get under George Price for second place, and they are all over the back of the 76 truck leader.
And it's going to be interesting to see if Tony can keep that truck down there. We saw him having troubles earlier with the tightness of that inside lane. To see, it's going to be interesting to see if those tires that he took during that pit stop are going to pay off, and it looks like it does as he clears the 48 of George Price.
Them two trucks get side by side. The rest of the field just catches them like fish on a fishing line, just reels them right in.
Yeah, and going into turn 3 there, Tony almost went after to try to get to the inside of the 76 of Justin Michael.
Man, we got a hard battle up here for the top position. Justin Michael definitely giving it his all here, as we are now at the halfway point at Charlotte Motor Speedway. And you guys are more than welcome to chat. We got 14 people watching right now. Definitely drop a like. Make sure you subscribe to the Broadcasting Network to see more ECR racing. Don't forget to go in the channel, go in the broadcast description below and check out the Beeline series over on the ECR YouTube channel, and as well as the Cup series over on Ford Entertainment Group. I'm also displaying the links up on the screen itself, so make sure you guys check them out. Very awesome broadcast. We also, it's very awesome racing between all 3 series, so make sure you don't miss out. And please remember that this broadcast is brought to you by the Pit Stop Designs by Joey Stats, and find him on Facebook at Joey Stats, or just Pit Stop Designs itself. And hope you guys are enjoying the race out here. I know we are in the booth, especially, you know, after what's been going on here tonight.
Yeah, I'm looking a little bit farther back in the pack here. We got Chris Steele and the 61. That's Josh Mayu. They've been battling side by side for, I believe it's 12th and 13th, or no, yes, 12th and 13th. They're going at it quite heavy. They're 3 wide right now with a lap car.
Almost 5 wide right there.
Yeah, that looked like a mess about to happen.
They pulled through though. They got what is that? Rob Haynes, 68, up there with them.
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah.
Rob Haynes in front of Chris Steele there.
And then you got the 86, Josh Conover, all battling for position. Man, oh man, these guys really, you know, it's really nice to come out here and see these guys actually put on a good show, put on a good race, really show what they're worth. And you've got more lap traffic coming up. Ooh, 45 probably ought to stay high, but Tony Ball is riding that bumper of Justin Michael. And speaking of which, let's go ahead and go to that bumper cam just to see how close he actually is. Trying to look for that inside line, but it's not going to happen. Justin Michael is closing that gap. Make sure he does not get past here. And as they come out of the tri-oval, do believe that they are both going to take roughly the same line, and they do, going into corner number 1, coming out of corner number 2 onto the backstretch.
These 2 lead trucks are both Tony Ball and Justin Michael are both taking that left side tire. They're putting it right on that white line at the bottom of the corner and using it to hook the truck. And it is really working, man. They are really flying through that.
There's quite a gap now, too, between them and third place of George Price. Almost a second behind now.
You almost have to wonder if the second place car there of Tony Ball, you almost got to wonder if he's just going to sit and ride and hope this goes green flag and it just kind of get those 2 broken away from the rest of the pack so he can make a move on Justin Michael in the 76 and have no pressure from behind if he makes a mistake of losing that position.
I would agree.
Well, I do believe it's going to come down to a green flag pit stop here as long as these guys do go green. They got about 30 laps to go, 34 laps to go right now. And we have a new top 5 of Christian Snyder now in 4th position, started 16th. And Michael Libby rounding out 5th, and he just moved back 2 positions. So, interesting to see how much these guys are spread out now. And we've got Andrew Melvin still holding 9th place position. And Jason O'Connor making a pass on Thomas Lattimore on the inside, now rounding out your top 10 here as we're coming down to 30 to go.
And you mentioned possibility of green flag stops here. You got to wonder how many of these drivers practice the green flag stops in practice. It's a big transition coming from the banking down to the apron, and you don't have much runoff space if you do overshoot it before that grass of the infield starts. So it could cause some chaos and some jumbled up fenders, I guess.
Absolutely correct. Charlotte is a tricky pit entrance, and there's a yellow flag.
So we won't have to worry about the green flag stops.
Now it looks like it will come down to 30 to go. Looks like Trey Davis may have gotten to that. Yeah, he got down in the grass really early. Let's go ahead and take a look back, see if we can actually find out what happened, Mr. Trey Davis, running the number 70 CarQuest Silverado. My number last year, actually, in the league. Yeah, he hit that outside wall coming out of corner number 4, ran it across the grass. He saved it. I'm not sure why the caution was called. Oh, it wasn't him. Whoa! Oh, that is such an awesome replay. Kind of awful for the trucks, but that is the number 78, so it's not going to be on Trey. Let's go. Who is 78?
That'd be Ron Miller.
Oh, geez, he's one of the
That's
hot
Ron Miller.
runners, too. It looks like him and the 49 of Mr. Let's see. Craig Blair got into it. Craig Blair got loose. And yeah, that was all she wrote for that. Let's go ahead and go back just a hair. As you can see from what view we're at, Craig Blair is going in the corner number 1 with Trey Davis down on the apron, just minding his own business, and all of a sudden, okay, so this goes back even further, guys. Mason Clark, actually, it looks like, came up into him, trying to avoid Trey Davis, but Trey was still down on the track. It's gonna be very hard to call. Man, I hate to be. Oh, what a flip! I gave that a 9 out of 10. I don't know. I don't think anything could beat Susie's flip earlier. Let's go ahead on board to see that from his point of view.
It almost looked like it was an accordion effect. It affected so many cars back, and we were talking about the super speedway characteristics that we're taking on here tonight at Charlotte, that you see the accordion effect where one car, 5 or 6 cars causes something. It affects so many cars back, and we're unfortunately seeing it here tonight.
Yeah, the 60 just comes up and he's trying to miss that car on the apron. Maybe he overreacted a bit.
That's unfortunate. I think that's going to end Ron Miller's night, too. See if I can find Ron Miller. Ron Miller, do you have a copy? Ronnie Miller, this has got to be in the broadcast booth. Do you have a copy? Alright, so that is not a copy from him. It's unfortunate. I don't know if he's just quitting or if he's just too upset to talk. I could see why he would be upset, but I have to talk to these people. But however, we're going to go into a quick commercial break here, brought to you by Pit Stop Designs. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as these guys are now double filed. Pace car will be coming in this time. Going to lap 58.85, coming down to the last leg here. There will be no more green flag pit stops, and hopefully these guys can keep it green here for the rest of the time. Now we got Mr. Christian Snyder up front with Justin Michael on the outside. Very interesting to see how this is going to play off here as these guys go back to green.
Bunch of different players here at the front right now, boys.
Yeah, like you mentioned there, Scotty, it's coming down to go time. There's basically one complete fuel run left. Depending on exactly how many laps they can go, it may come down to a fuel mileage race here.
Oh, let's hope so. I mean, these guys are have, what, 23 laps left? Something
And we
like
saw
that.
again that... Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was trying to figure out the math, but I can't do math right now.
We saw the outside lane earlier in the race struggling to get going, and it cost Justin Michael another position, so it's going to be interesting to see if he's just going to sit and ride, or if actually they're getting ready to battle for the lead here. So we'll see if Justin tries to take it 3 wide here.
And it looks like Tony Ball taking advantage of that open spot. Christian went up too high on that. And look at that, we got George Munger sitting in 4th place right now, followed by number 48 of George Price. So another change in the top 5 here as we come down to the last 25 laps.
76 truck is all over the 80 right now.
Justin is spending no time getting back up to the front. His truck is most likely handling better with that clean air up front. It's not getting distracted by anybody. It's got a lot of downforce on the front of that truck and helping it rotate, especially on the bottom, like we heard Josh and so many other drivers saying that on the bottom, it's getting tight, especially with that draft.
Well, I tell you guys what, last year broadcasting this, Tony Ball was everyone's fan favorite. As soon as you mentioned Tony Ball, there'd be several people in the chat saying, Tony Ball for the win! Go number 80, Tony Ball! And, well, it looks like he's making it true for this year, at least.
And watching the 76 try to complete this pass here, he also got real tight coming off of 4 on that inside line and almost pushed up. It looked like they may have made some contact there with the left front of Tony Ball's car and the right rear of Justin Michaels' vehicle there. So it's going to be real interesting to see what it comes down to on trying to make a pass here late in the race.
There's some real gamesmanship going on here right now with the bumper tag entering the corners.
The 56 of George Munger, you mentioned him earlier there, Scotty. He is up there about to take 2nd place away from Tony Ball.
I see that, and these guys are getting real close here as we're watching the right front side going in the corner number 3. You can see how close these guys are running. And you can also see that the rubber is starting to come up off the tires already and off the track.
And we're getting down to that point in the race where we only have 20 or so laps to go. Are we going to start seeing some of the drivers? They're still racing very clean and a lot of sportsmanship, like you said, but are we going to see a lot of those guys on the outside lane trying to pinch the inside lane down, try and stop a run from the car that is trying to take that position from them?
I can tell you honestly, in this series, I think this is one of the cleaner series we have. Granted, yes, we do have cautions, but it's the trucks. I mean, it's almost inevitable to not have cautions in the truck series. You know, we have a lot of our rookies here in ECR here. Granted, some of our rookies have, you know, 3,000 to 6,000 I rating outside of, you know,
Oh, there's a crash. There's a crash at 3 and 4.
Uh-oh.
Big crash.
Oh, no.
Big crash. Earl James involved.
Oh, wow. Yep, we're just paused on him right now, and his truck is flipped over. Let's go ahead and find out what happened. As I was saying, typically you see a lot more showmanship in this series than you do the other two. However, there is, you know, you can atone for this, Scott. There is a lot of clean racing in the Cup series. I'm not sure about the Beeline this year. I don't run it myself.
I've ran a couple of the Beeline races, and for the exception of Bristol, it has been extremely clean racing. I can't say it enough. And anyone that took me wrong on the pinching the drivers down, it's almost a strategy. It's not just dirty racing. It's just a way to stop somebody from losing momentum. But yes, like you said, Scotty, this league, even across all 3 divisions, not just the trucks, but we have cautions. Cautions going to happen in every race, most likely every race, and it's just part of racing. But it's going to be interesting to see. This whole race has been interesting.
So right now, as we're looking at the blimp view, you got the 20, the 61, the 39, and the 70 all involved in this. Now, Nathan Katsilas, was he on the lead lap?
Do not believe so. I believe that was the 20 car, unless he got a lucky dog. Take a look here. Exactly. It appears he was. So he did get his lap back. That was the vehicle at the very beginning of the race that we saw started a lap down almost.
Yeah, because they got up into each other. I think this might be on the 20 this time around. which is unfortunately a lot of good guys get taken out, especially this last leg of the race. These guys, I would assume, would be pitting again very quickly for tires. I mean, if it was me, I would take the opportunity to pit as much as I could, especially during the cautions.
Justin Michael won the race off pit road.
Speaking of Justin here, it looks like they're still pacing him. Would we be able to get a word in with good old Justin here?
Sure thing. Let's see where he's sitting at in this Discord.
Most likely at the bottom.
Full throttle. Got him. Let's see. Justin Michael, welcome to the broadcast booth. Do you have a copy? I got Todd Gilly and Scott Sanderson in here.
Yes, sir. How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good. A hell of a show you've been putting on out here tonight. I know these boys got some word for you.
Yeah, it's definitely been a good night. Leading a lot of laps, and I hated that I got into the 55 there earlier, but he seemed to recover okay.
Justin Scott here. You've been spending a lot of time out front, like you mentioned. Are you seeing a difference when you get behind a vehicle? We were wondering, are you seeing it get real tight and push up no matter where you're at, or is the fresh air on the front of your vehicle helping a lot more than what it seems to be?
It's definitely helping a lot. It's really a tight race car tonight, but when you're behind somebody, it's definitely not helping at all. But we're just able to save tires a little bit better than some of these guys. That's why we're able to stay out here.
Now, have you been playing a pit strategy at all? Have you been taking the 2 tires since you've been able to save the tires while running up front and not abusing them in the draft?
No, this is actually the first time I took into and taken to. That's why West Virginia coming out. But I think I might have made the wrong call because everybody else took 4. But we'll see what happens. I guess I'm going to drive the hell out of it.
Well, nonetheless, no matter what you took, I know we're going to have a real good show here with looks like we're going to have, what is it going to be, 16 to go?
15 to go.
15 to go. So, Justin, thank you for speaking with us here in the booth, and good luck to you.
Thanks, guys.
Todd, you got anything for him real quick before we send him back down?
Justin, are you using that apron? Are you hooking the left front on that apron to get it to turn after the tires get old, or is that working on a fresh tire too?
No, I try to avoid the apron. I think all you're going to do is spin when that happens. But I mean, if other people have been doing it, that's more power to them. But I can't get it to not spin down there.
Well, it looks like the caution has been extended here. Was that a call? That must have been an admin call. They're probably trying to figure out how to call that last incident.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I haven't heard anything.
Thanks for coming up. Good
Thanks,
luck.
guys.
You were down in full throttle, right?
Yes.
Now, here in the ECR Discord, we used to use TeamSpeak last year, but Discord is free. So we've switched over to Discord for the season, and we have a lot of different teams with a lot of different channels. So I have to ask to make sure we place these guys back in the right channels for the night.
Yeah, and especially I know from experience when you're up with a lot of guys are communicating with their teammates, and when you have a large field like we have here, you could have 20 or 30 guys in one channel. So a lot of guys like to spread out over a lot of different channels and instead of talking over 20 or 30, you only have to talk over 2 or 3 different guys. So always got to make sure we put them back in with their teammate and not try to get anybody in trouble.
Exactly. And Justin Michael, you're definitely hot runner here tonight, is going to lead this pack off here with 14 laps to go. Your current top 10, 76 of Justin Michael, 56 of George Munger, the 80 of Tony Ball, 48 of George Price, 11 of Chris Steele, 63 of Christian Snyder, 31 of Douglas Hess, 6 of Josh Sheets, 14 of Stephen Massey, and the 68 of Rob Haynes, rounding out your top 10.
Looking at that restart, and George Munger, he got one heck of a restart on that outside lane. He almost looked like he almost jumped the start, but he was able to hold up to the outside of Justin there on the restart, but it looks like he gave the inside to him, and maybe he felt like he did jump that restart.
Well, I tell you what, George Price, one of my drivers this year, I ran with him last year actually in Trevor McManus's team, Bump and Run, And George is one hell of a driver in this league. He came in last year as a rookie. This year he's definitely showing dominance across all 3 series. And I'm glad to see him up front here.
Best 5 trucks in the whole race, right on the top 5 right now.
You're damn straight. We got the 76 George, 76 Justin Michael, 56 George Munger, the 80 of Tony Ball, 63 of Christian Snyder, who is also your Tuesday night broadcaster for the Beeline series, and the 48 of George Price, all showing dominance in this race, especially coming down to 11 to go when they cross the start-finish line. Man, oh man.
Going back to...
Go ahead.
Go ahead. All right, we were talking about the 56 of George Munger. He qualified 31st. He is basically ran through this entire field. I'd like to give a hats off to that gentleman right there.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you.
No, you're fine. They are battling hard.
Tony Ball just got turned sideways coming off too, and Christian Snyder turned him sideways, but Ball hang on, and he's going to stay running, but he is out of contention.
That dropped him back so far too. He's dropping like a fly.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. He was running extremely well almost this entire race. Was up there battling for the lead with Justin Christian there for a while.
Well, we're coming down. We got 10 to go, going down 9 to go. Who do you think? Do you think Justin Michael's going to win this, or do you think Christian or either George or George will come up here and pull off a win?
I don't know. It's going to be a tough one. It looks like, I don't know exactly what the numbers are looking at. I'm watching this battle back here between the Georges. But it appears just in car lengths, it looks like Christian is slowly reeling the 76 of Justin Michael in.
I thought he was catching him a little bit there. Yes, I do believe you're right.
The big question is he going to have enough time? We're down under 10 to go here, so it's definitely crunch time now. Especially, he's definitely reeling him in.
Well, if the Georges want anything to do with winning the race, they're going to have to stop fighting each other and get in line to catch him. That's for sure. Yeah, but being so late in the race here, that's not in a racer's mentality, is to just let somebody go and ride out. You want that position, especially that's for a podium spot there. But who knows? Anyone could surprise me. No doubt.
Yeah.
I could tell you he's about 0.3 seconds, 0.36 seconds. It's flip-flopping between 0.36 and 0.38 as far as space goes between Christian and Justin right now. So they're both running a pretty solid line and pretty much the same line. So, if Christian can get up just a little bit more and catch that draft, he might have a win here.
And that last lap is going to be interesting to see what it is this time around. But that last lap, Christian was faster, and this lap...
He's still faster. He's gaining.
Yes, he is faster than Justin, so he is slowly reeling him in. But my biggest fear here is he's going to run out of time.
Well, we're coming down to 5 to go as they cross the start-finish line, and it's going to be close, guys. I'm really excited to see who's going to pull out the win here tonight. Oh, we got a crash going off corner 4. Oh, no caution. Nope, that is a caution.
There's the yellow.
Oh,
flag is out.
man. And
that will be the race.
Yeah, well, I don't know. It's going to be close. They're only on lap 80 of 85, so it depends.
They may have a green-white checker or at least a one-lap dash here for the win.
Christian Snyder was not happy that caution flag came out when it came out. He was very distressed.
Yeah, I was watching him. He reeled him into about 2 car lengths. He reeled Justin in. So he was going to prove me wrong there, and he was going to be able to get to him before the white flag came out.
So I'm looking at this replay, and you got the battle between the Georges here, George Munger and George Price, and it looks like, let's go ahead and slow this down just a hair, it looks like George Price came up into George Munger to avoid Nathan Casillas, who was down on the apron, but wasn't giving enough room. I think Nathan Casillas should have taken that outside line, Looks like number 11 got into it as well, and Nathan got hit again from George Munger. So that is unfortunate for these guys here tonight. Man, oh man. And that will be caution number 6 and the final caution here tonight. So if these guys do not go green, pace car lights are still on, and we're on 82 of 85. It's gonna be close. What do you guys think?
I believe this is going to end in a caution. I think they may get the 1 to go signal, but when they get the 1 to go signal, if it's coming down to the white flag, it automatically cancels it out. So I think the caution fell just 1 lap too late to go back green.
If Justin Michael gets the win here tonight, that will put him very high in points. He's currently 3rd in points right now in the Truck Series.
And I believe Justin was also the winner at Kansas. So he's very well could go back-to-back here tonight.
Man, oh man, that'd be great to see a victory, another victory for him. I know he's locked into the chase right now. Going on lap 83. And let's see if the pace car lights do go off.
Looking at our RC's call there, it looks like the 20 of Nathan Casillas has been given an EOL. So I wonder if they ruled him as the reason for this caution.
I would assume, I would really assume, because there wasn't enough room, and unfortunately being a lap car down, he will also take quite a bit of a fine for causing a caution, being a lap car.
I was just going to say, I'm watching this. I'm rewinding this and watching it real slow. And Nathan is getting caught by the 2nd and 3rd place cars that battle the Georges, in fact, is coming up behind him. And he just can't get his car down, his truck down onto the apron enough for them to, and they are just flying by him. And then George Price comes up and gets into the side of the 56 truck and turns him sideways, and it's on from there. But it's a shame that it turned out the way it did.
Well, I do believe that will be it tonight here, folks. I do not believe these guys will be going back to green. Pace car lights are still on. They are coming down to 1 to green. We do not have green-white checkers here in ECR. Unless the RC decides to let him race it out, but I don't think he's going to. And we'll just double check, and nope, he is not. So, we'll go ahead and start. I'll start with the top 10. If you guys want to follow suit through, Todd, if you want to do 11 through 20, and Scott, you want to do 21 through 30, and I'll finish up the pack.
That sounds good to me.
Cool.
Alright, so we got your winner here tonight, the number 76 of Justin Michael, followed by the 63 of Christian Snyder, 48 of George Price, 31 of Douglas Hess, 72 of Jason O'Connor, 14 of Stephen Massey, the 11 of Chris Steele, the 6 of Josh Sheets, the 68 of Rob Haynes, and the 55 of Michael Lively, rounding out your top 10 here tonight.
Tony Ball is in 11th place. Thomas Lattimore in the 3 truck is 3rd. Tyler Davis is 13th. Daniel Reese in 14th. Andrew Melvin 15th. Will Prue 16th. Mason Clark in 17th. Josh Conover in 18th. Jeremy Morrison in 19th. And Ken Worley in 20th position.
In 21st, we got George Munger. Saw him running real strong. He's most likely going to be extremely disappointed with this finish. Nathan Casillas in the 22nd, our first car, not on the lead lap. Anthony Fitchner in 23rd. Earl James 24th. Josh Mayu 25th. Trey Davis 26th. Trevor McManus 27th. Craig Blair in 28th. Scott Hunsinger in 29th. Jerome Gustin in 30th. 31st, we got Nick Edwards. 32nd, Ron Miller. 33rd, Ben Olson. 34th, David Bourne. 35th, we got Johnny Smith. 36th, we got Josh Susi. We saw him get caught up in that first caution. and that would be rounding out your field.
That's right, because Joey Stats was your race control and Justin Plant did not come back. So, your winner here tonight, number 76, Justin Michael. Let's go ahead and start bringing up the top 3 as we watch him do his victory burnout.
The 80 truck is not happy.
Oh, I could imagine. It's definitely was not a good night for him. So let's go ahead and bring George Price down first. Which one of you guys want to do the first interview?
Todd,
Go
I'll
ahead,
let you go
Scott.
ahead. I'll let
Okay.
you go ahead and have this one. I got a good question for Christian here.
Absolutely.
George Price, welcome to the broadcast. Nope, hold on. That wasn't right. Yeah, it is. Okay, I'm sorry about that, George.
I finished third.
You did finish third. I'm sorry. I thought I got George Mugger. No, George Price, congratulations on third place. We got Todd Gilly and Scott Sanderson in the booth here with me tonight, and I know Todd's got a few things for you.
George Price, you had a great race tonight. You came from way in the back, did you not?
I think I started like 5th.
Oh, I'm
It's not
sorry.
too far. I fell back a
mixed
little
it up.
early. I took 4 tires. A lot of guys took 2. So I got back to about 12th or so. Worked my way back up.
Cool. Yeah, I didn't see you there for a while. Were you able to? I'm surprised that you guys didn't run the top as much tonight. Was it just not there?
Yeah, the speed was really on the bottom. I mean, you could stay side by side, but you couldn't really complete the pass on the high side. So it's pretty much bottom lane, or you're just stuck until you can get in.
Well, I thought you ran a great race tonight, man. One more thing, that little contact there at the end, we were calling it the Battle of the Georges you guys had going on there, and just couldn't get around the 20 there quick enough, huh?
Yeah, we were having a great battle. I don't know. We both didn't expect him to be that slow down there in the bottom lane. Came up pretty quick. We tried our best to get around him, but I guess we made contact.
Well, you guys ran a great race tonight. Congratulations on a podium finish, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you, sir.
All right, let's go ahead and pull down Christian Snyder.
He left.
Christian Snyder, well, congratulations on second. Do you have a copy?
Yeah, I gotcha.
All right, I got Scott Sanderson and Todd Gilly up here in the booth with me. Scott's got a few words for you.
Christian, first off, I'd like to congratulate you on that second place finish there. We saw you slowly reeling in Justin Michael. We saw a lot of people take shots at trying to get by Justin. And the last few, probably about 5 or 10 laps there before that caution came out, we saw you were running faster lap times, almost a 10th faster than Justin. If we ran the rest of the race out green, did you have anything for him? Were you going to try and run a different line that maybe he hasn't seen yet? Were you going to try and give him a shot? We saw one driver do that and got real out of shape. So what was your plan heading forward there?
The outside in turns 1 and 2, the truck felt great. So that's what I was using the lap right before the caution. I ran him down real quick. So I was like, well, I'm going to run this the rest of the race. I think I could have got him on the outside, honestly. But, I was going to apologize to Tony Ball for wrecking him, but he said some words that I didn't appreciate. So, good for him. I don't know where he finished, but I'm sure he deserved that. But our truck was great. I don't know how his was. He just couldn't handle it. I gave him a little bump. He couldn't handle it.
Yeah, and that's part of racing. It's tempers are going to get heated here, especially late in the going. You've set yourself up for the entire race, and sometimes you just get the short end of the stick. Sometimes you come away not feeling so bad, and this time you got the benefit of the doubt there, and we also saw you. I'd like to comment on this. Is we saw you were slowly picking your way up through the field there. You started 16th. You came home with that second place finish, and you had worked your way into the top 5. And then you guys had a caution, came down pit road, and all of a sudden we saw you out in the lead. Even though you did take 4 tires, did you have a strategy going into your stall that was gaining you time at all?
Oh, this Ronnie Norman Racing pit crew has been fast every week. And just the way I get into the pit stall, I don't know. I throw it down in neutral, lock it up like they do in real life, hold the wheel straight. It works perfectly, and I was able to get a 12.8 second stop, and
Wow.
that's almost unheard of in the trucks.
Yeah, that's almost unheard of in almost anything. That's one heck of a pit stop right there.
Yeah, this R&R team, we're gonna get our win. Thought Charlotte was our best chance had that caution not come out, but we'll go get one soon.
All right. Last but not least, is there anyone that you would like to thank for your finish here?
I'll certainly Ronnie Norman for giving me the ride. The league for obviously letting me join. Scotty for broadcast, and you guys for commentating.
All right. Well, once again, congratulations on your second place finish. And Scotty, I believe you have the winner here, Justin.
I do so. Justin Michael, do you have a copy?
Yes, sir. How are you?
Great. Congratulations on another win here in the Truck Series. Definitely dominating Charlotte here tonight. How'd your truck feel tonight?
Tight. I'm not a big fan of the weather. It's flat-footed, for probably 8-10 laps, something like that. I don't even remember, but I don't really like that. Having to save tires a bunch, things like that. But it handled okay. I took 2 tires there at the end, trying to loosen it up. Seemed to help, but I think I lost a little grip in the middle of the turn.
I gotta say, we saw you get loose a little bit. About 20 laps, 25 laps left to go, but you saved it. And you had a lot of stiff competition. That top 5 changed drastically throughout this race. What was your strategy here tonight?
Just because of the way everything was playing out with the weather and stuff, just trying to stay up front as much as I could, and then trying to save tires at the same time. When they would get side by side, I would back it off a little bit. That's why they would stay with me. But I knew I was saving tires a lot better than they were when that happened. So I was able to pull away there at the end of the long runs.
Well, you said it yourself. You had a 2-tire pit stop last caution pit stop, and it worked out in your favor. I mean, there was a little bit of a mishap in the back bringing out that last caution, but if we had gone green, do you think you could have pulled it off, or would have Christian caught up to you?
It would have been fun. I know he would have got to me. I don't know whether he could have got by me or not, because I could have really pinched him down there in the middle of the turns, tried to kill his momentum, but it would have been fun.
Well, all right. Well, big congratulations to you. You'll get your podium finish picture here very shortly here on the ECR Facebook and the Drivers Lounge. Anybody you want to thank out there tonight?
Just everybody out there watching. Johnny, after he unfortunately got taken out, he was my spotter there for a while, giving me reading off lap times and telling me fuel strategy and all that. So I'm just glad he was helping out.
Awesome. Well, hopefully we are not here next week. We are off yet again another week. But when we come back the following week, maybe we'll talk to you again here up in the podium.
Sounds good, guys.
Congratulations, Justin.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Well, that is going to be it for us here tonight at the ECR League Truck Series. I want to thank Todd Gilly and Scott Sanderson for being up here in the booth with me tonight, helping commentate and run the show a little bit. You guys get any last words for the viewers out there?
Todd, go ahead.
Thank you for having us up here again, Scotty. It's my second time up here. I love doing it. I'm getting a little better at it, and man, this league is just the best. I want to thank Anthony, all the admins, and all the racers here. It's a great community of people here. Thanks.
Yeah, and I also want to thank you too. It's my first time broadcasting anywhere at anything. It's been a blast. It was a lot funner than I originally thought it was going to be. I'm definitely going to have to jump up here and do some more. Also, thank all the fans out there for watching. You guys are what motivates some of these drivers to get out here and put a show on, whether you're just friends, family, or just strangers. We welcome everyone. And also got to thank the drivers for taking time out of their day, having a little fun. Maybe it didn't end the way they wanted it to, but nonetheless, without the fans and the drivers, none of this could be possible.
Yes, one more thing I want to say, and that is Scott Sanderson did a great job tonight, man. I had a ball with you, dude. Let's do it again next time.
For sure, man. Good job.
Yeah, it was definitely fun having you two up here in the booth. Definitely appreciate it. And on that note, guys, I hope you guys all have a great night. We're going to end with the ECR commercial. Remember, if you want to be a part of this league, check out ecrleague.com for the rules and sponsors and, just a little bit about the league itself, links to their broadcast, links to the console series. Don't forget to find us on Facebook at ECR League. We have our own drivers lounge, and we are connected with a lot of other sim racing Facebooks as well. And we have a dirt series this year, so don't forget to check us out. And I hope you guys all have a great night. And I will talk to you two right after the broadcast.